From monsters devouring your internal organs underwater to a revengeful torso, we count 5 of the scariest Japanese urban legends. Number 5. Gozu, also known as Cowhead, is a Japanese urban legend that have been around for centuries. The story of Gozu remained a mystery for a very long time because of the fact that copies of this story were burnt. However, for the remainder of the original copy of the story that did survive were cut to pieces and spread in different places in the world. There were, however, a small portion of the story that were preserved, and it goes like this. Years ago, there was a village that was hit with an epidemic of famine. In order to survive, they had to resort to the last living animals: horses, cats, cows, and even dogs. However, they were running out of them as well. One day, a strange living thing was wandering the village. That thing had a head of a cow and the body of a man. The villagers were so desperate and hungry that they chased it down, killed it, and devoured it, ripping limb by limb and eating it. It brought a curse upon the village, and it turned into a complete disaster. Few centuries later, archaeologists dug the ground of that same village that became deserted. Upon digging it, they found something that was rather strange. A skeleton that had the body of a regular man with an attached skull of a cow. Number 4. As you can see, these masks are very creepy. The different emotional facial expressions would provide chills down a person's spine. They are known as no mask. They are Japanese-made masks that would be worn during an opera show or other artistic performances. Somehow these masks were said to possess power. They would absorb the energy of the person who is wearing the mask and convert it into a negative energy. The person would then be possessed and would turn into an evil being. This mask was known to absorb the person's energy until his or her body rots. Once it finished with the victim, it would stick the old body to the new body. Number 3. Teke Teke is a Japanese urban legend surrounding a girl who was characterized as shy and would be made fun of by her peers at school. One day in the summertime, the girl who was waiting at the train station was pranked by one of her classmates who put a bug on her shoulder. She was jump scared and stumbled onto the train track. Before she can get out, it was too late. The train had ran over her body to leave it split in half. People mourned her death, but her ghost was still active. She would haunt the train stations, dragging her top half body, using her hands or elbows to get around. Every time she moved around, she would make a teke teke sound, hence her name being Teke Teke. Number 2. Kuchisake Onna, translating into slit-mouthed woman, is another urban legend popular amongst the Japanese culture. This story originated from 800 to 1200 years ago. There was a beautiful woman that was married to a samurai. This woman happened to be very promiscuous with other men in the village while still being married to the samurai. One day the samurai found out about her cheating activities and punished her by slitting her mouth with his sword from ear to ear. After doing so, he asked her, "Who will find you beautiful now?" Fast forward into 1970, the ghost of Kuchisake Onna appeared in Japan. She would appear to people who tend to walk alone in a neighborhood at night. To the people she would appear to, she would ask, "Watashi kirei?" meaning, "Am I pretty?" And if the person responded no, she would slash the person's face with long scissors, the same way hers was slashed. If the person answered yes, she would remove her surgical mask and ask, "How about now?" If the person said yes, the person would still not be safe, as she would chase the victim and then kill him or her. The ghost of Kuchisake Onna was known to chase children from the early to late 1970s. Number 1. Kappa is a creature which is said to wander the rivers of Japan. It is said to have a face of a monkey and the body of a lizard. They are depicted with the shell on their back and have sharp teeth along with large hands and feet. They are a demonic creature who play pranks on people by delivering smelly farts, and they would stare under a woman's dress. Although they sound like trolls, they are said to be responsible for the disappearances of many children who would walk on the banks of rivers or swim in the rivers. When the person least expected, these demonic creatures would grab the person by their feet or legs and drag them and devour the victim's internal organs underwater. Nowadays, as human technology developed and toilets became more frequent in people's homes in Japan, the monster would lurk into the sewer system and creep up into people's bathroom through their toilet, and stick its arm from the person's bottom and pull their tongue out. The scariest part about this is actual remains of a scaly green monster, which is widely attributed as Kappa, were found on the shore of Japan. So if swimming is your passion and you live in Japan, you should really be careful because you just never know. Thanks for watching this video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to us for more updates.